Hello, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I am, for those who don't know me, a crystal whisperer, which means I talk to stones and they talk to me. And today I have these two really magical, beautiful beings speaking to all of us, and with a beautiful, beautiful gift and special energy and message for us. So there's been a lot of magic happening with the stone beings. If you've been following my light log posts and these videos, you will know what I mean. And these guys, I'm struggling a little bit to find out, to find the beginning of the story. So it started with the crystal on the left, which is a confetti quartz crystal. That's what my supplier calls them. They are, and it's not because they're filled with little tiny black dots, but it is because there is sparkles in these crystals that are all kinds of colors. And it reminded him of confetti. And when I saw them, I totally understood why he called them that. So this confetti crystal, I tried to find a good place to place these crystals so that you could see them as clearly as possible. And I'm hoping that you can see some of the beautiful rainbow colors from the confetti crystal. So that crystal started singing, and what I see inside this crystal, what this crystal is showing me, is an angel kneeling and praying. And I don't know if you'll see it now through the video, but I've taken lots and lots of pictures, and I will put the pictures up, and if you're meant to see it, you will see it, because it's quite clear. And I say if you're meant to see it because we all see what we need to see. The crystals are magic that way. They show us exactly what we need to see. So if you're not seeing what I'm seeing, that's not because you don't have beautiful vision. It's because that's not what you're supposed to see, at least in that moment. So what I was hearing from this crystal is that, so clearly, is that even angels pray. And I'm pausing for a moment because it's one of those things that we don't think about, right? We think about angels looking out for us. We think about angels guiding us and gifting us with their support and their guidance and their wisdom and their energy and their beauty. We don't necessarily think that they are also kneeling down to pray, having needs, having desires. And it reminded me of another crystal that I've been scrambling around the house to find because, if you've worked with fairy energy, you know that they like to hide things. And this past few days has been a day of hide and seek because I was looking for something else. I was looking for a ring, and I just am feeling drawn and called to wearing this ring. And when I wear jewelry, it's always because I'm wearing it for its medicine and its energy, as well as for its beauty, because, hey, jewelry is gorgeous. And I love bling, so... yeah, so I was looking for this ring, and I thought it's got to be at the bank. And we went to the bank yesterday to check out my safe deposit box. It's not something I do often because I just don't, the energy and the chemical smells in the bank kind of keep me away. And usually I'll send my husband, but I was feeling called to go this time, and I searched and searched for this ring, and it wasn't there. And it's not the first time that this happened with that specific ring. It disappeared. I thought it was lost. I thought it was gone. And then I found it. And I thought I put it back in the bank or somewhere in one of my drawers. And I searched everywhere and I couldn't find it. But the magic is, the lady at the bank who took us to our box said, you know, you were here exactly a year ago to the date. And I thought, okay, there's magic. She was very tickled by it. My husband didn't even blink an eye. But I was smiling inside, knowing that there was some magic here. And like I said, if you've ever worked with fairy energy, you know that they hide things, but it's never malicious. They have such a bad rap. They are thought to hide things because they're being mischievous, and it's really not the case. They're directing you, they're guiding you, they're showing you lovingly, playfully, very playfully. You gotta, be open to some games because they love that. And it's fun. It's fun, especially at the end when you don't find the thing that you're looking for, but what you find is the thing that the universe wants you to see in that moment. And that's what happened today when I was looking for a crystal that was singing in July. And there's a light blog post about it. And that was also hidden, which is interesting because I didn't put it, it was visible, but it was in the wrong place, so nobody was going to be able to find it. So it's been there all this time, but it's been hidden. Another message from these crystals, how the angels are there all the time and they're hidden, and these beautiful, colorful sparkles that are there all the time, but we don't see until we have them in just the right light or just the right position. And then the color just shows up. So that light log post that this whole experience reminded me of was that even fairies have angels. And today we're talking about how even angels pray. And it just reminded me of that. And when I went to look for it, I couldn't find it. And then I discovered that it's because it was hidden, and now it's not hidden anymore. And when I saw that crystal, I remembered it and I wanted to find it. And when I looked for it, I couldn't find it. But what I found was this other fairy fossil crystal, because that crystal, the even fairies have angel crystal, was a fairy fossil crystal. And if you haven't heard of the fairy fossil crystals, it's a name I gave to them. It's a name that the fairies gave me to give to them. So calm down, ego. So these fairy fossil crystals are a connection to the fairy realm. They have hidden in them fairy sparkles, fairy dust, fairy energy, fairy presence. And this one, how crazy is this? Because it's an incredible reflection of the confetti crystal. The confetti crystal is a twin, and so is this fairy fossil. It looks like there's two crystals there, but I'm going to turn it around, hopefully without making too much noise. And you can see it's one stone. It's not separated. Oh, there's a cute little thumbprint. And now it looks like kind of looks like a foot now. A little bit. Thumbprints, footprints. Okay, so I'm going to stay focused without going on another tangent because there's enough here to tell you. Let me see if I can turn it back around and still give you that. Oh my gosh, and now I'm seeing orbs in this crystal. Fairy orbs, fairy eggs. Definitely fairy eggs. Okay. Focus. Here I am. You can see why I get carried away with the crystals. Sometimes, I'll be taken on such a journey that hours pass by and I haven't done any of the things that I set intention to do. And it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing because that's where the magic is, in those moments that happen in between the times that we are doing what we think we're supposed to do. So this confetti quartz is a twin. This fairy fossil stone is a twin. And it's not just a twin, but there's a larger one and a smaller one. And that's also part of the magic. Because what I'm hearing from these crystals is that they too are guardians. Just like the angels are our guardians, we are also guardians. So let's see if I can make this make sense to you, because my beautiful mind understands it. But I want to make sure that you get it too. So and I don't want to say it's like it's a hierarchy, because it's not a hierarchy in a sense, but just as the fairies have angels, and just how has the angels also pray, because they also have a higher power that's guiding them. There's always a higher power. And I really hesitate to use the word higher power, because I don't like to bring hierarchy in because ultimately we're all divine, interconnected beings. But we do have to communicate, and sometimes we need to use language. It's not quite exact, but that does the job. So I'm doing my best to find the right words to express what I'm receiving from these beings. So I guess what we're getting to ultimately is that just as fairies have angels, just as angels also pray, just as this crystal, these two crystals that came together, this pair of two crystals that came together, are guardians for each other. And we are also guardians. And this is where, this is the spiral, this is the tip of the spiral, this is where we want to end up. Knowing that we're guided, that our guides are guided, that their guides are guided, but that we are also guides. It just makes sense, right? If it's the as above, so below scenario, we're guided and we guide. So the invitation now is to find the ways to just notice. You're not trying to do anything, but you're just noticing. You're looking at your life and you're noticing, where have you been a guide to somebody? And you have, I absolutely promise that you have. Because a lot of the times we're doing this guiding, this guardianship, without necessarily realizing that that's what we're doing. And that's great, because that's when the universe is in such harmony and we're in such flow that we don't even realize that we're the drop of the water in the whole ocean, right? But sometimes, and this is what these guys are wanting us to do, they're inviting us, is a better word, to look at ourselves as guardian, to see that no matter how much of a hot mess our life is in, no matter how lost or out of control that we sometimes feel, we have this gift, this strength, this wisdom that we're sharing with somebody. Whether we see it or not. And if we look back at our lives, we will for sure find examples of that. And that's the gift that these guys are sharing today. They're reflecting your beautiful wisdom and guardianship and angelic presence in this world, and knowing that whether we realize it or not, there are people that are looking to us, that have received a great gift from us. So what's that gift that you're giving? And, oh, beautiful. They're just telling me that once you've realized the gift that you've given others, they're inviting you to give that gift to yourself. So if you've been a source of unconditional love, or if you've been a source of wisdom, or if you've been a teacher or a friend, or if you've been generous with someone, turn that generosity inwards as well, that wisdom. Be a teacher for yourself. Be that source of unconditional love. And that's their gift. I'm moving around because I'm trying to get these guys in the best light for you to see them as we say goodbye. And I invite you to tap into the energy of these crystalline ones. To feel their gift and their message. And to turn to them also for guardianship and guidance. Because they will be that for you. Send you lots of love and many, many blessings, and have a really magical weekend. Stay tuned, by the way, for the Sunday Sparkle for more magic. And if you haven't yet signed up, you're invited to sign up to our Sunday Sparkle newsletter through the website, there's links on social media, Facebook and Instagram. And you can always get in touch through our contact form on songofstones.com. Lots of love, my friends.